All right, so I will try to keep this video a little shorter this time, but I was sent this kind of image on WhatsApp, and it was from a neurologist and neurosurgeon in India, and it's basically a 2 hour a week course for 10 weeks, so 20 hours for 15,000 rupees, which I believe is approximately 200 US dollars. And her claim is that most of us are using a very small portion of our brain, and this is because we are not aware we are capable of more. Learn from this doctor's expertise in treating thousands of patients with neurologic illness and helping them regain maximum quality of life. So this is an interesting thing that I saw, and I was immediately skeptical because of the first line of that most of us are using a very small portion of our brain. That is, unequivocally untrue. That's just something that's been portrayed in media a lot. You see like Limitless and other movies that the human brain is capable of so much more and all these things. So I did want to let me look at her website to kind of investigate it further. The first thing I see is the same flyer that I saw. I'm not going to click to register. And she is, if you click about, it's not like she's a fraud or anything. She is like a real doctor, actual neurologist and neurosurgeon. So it's not that she doesn't have the background. But let's look at this brain health and resilience coaching. So yeah, for someone who had a stroke or epilepsy, she seems like an expert. But I'm not sure about these. So let's look at the group coaching programs. So updated soon. Rebooting the brain is not the one. She has some courses and webinars. I don't know where I got taken off to the other page. Boost your brain power, also not there yet. Okay, so maybe she's still working on this stuff, so we can leave that. But I did want to just talk real quick about the claims here. I will say positively that I do like her thing is daily practical tiny steps to use your brain better. That's kind of the way that we could do anything better. You have to take the small steps, atomic habits, and all those things. You just need to do small things that add up. So I don't think it's going to be like entirely useless. There will probably be useful things to take away. I just wanted to point out the inaccuracy of her statement. So why do we think people are using only a small portion of their brains? There's a lot of media, like I already said, Limitless and things like that, which help spread this myth. And if you look at when the human brain is active, the human brain is constantly active, even when you're sleeping. Different parts of the brain are responsible for controlling different functions. Breathing, heart rate, movement, thinking, all these thought processes, everything you're doing, your brain's constantly working. And while you're doing a certain task, like I'm focusing on one task, yes, one part of my brain will be more active, but it's not that like if I activated more of my brain, I'd be better at this task. There's very specialized things that your brain does. So while we may not be using every part of our brain all the time, every part of our brain is constantly active and plays a important role in our overall functioning. So I just wanted to point out that this small percentage of the brain is a myth. It does not accurately reflect how an understanding of how our brain works. A couple of the other things is I do think it is something that's used as inspiration for creativity. So the idea of having untapped potential in your brain, hey, all the things you've done so far are amazing, but that's only 10%. You could do, 10x better if you do these things. So it can kind of inspire people to be more creative or think outside the box or something like that. And you can also see there's scientific research that's been kind of misinterpreted or kind of oversimplified, which also leads to the persistence of this myth. But I'm sure some of the techniques that she's going to teach you in this thing, if you actually go to it, which I don't recommend to do or not, but I think 20 hours is a lot of time to commit to this. I feel like you could get similar results from going online and finding small steps. But I think some things that are proven real quick, I'll just end the video with, are exercise, getting a regular physical activity has been shown to improve brain function, and that's like across the board. So if you're working out, if you're exercising, you're going to see an improvement. The other huge one is sleep. So getting enough good sleep is absolutely essential. If you don't have enough sleep, you will have memory problems. You'll have concentration issues, things like that. So that's That's another big one. And mental stimulation I see mentioned a lot as well. So that's also kind of for age-related decline. If you look at as people get older, things aren't going to be as easy. You could see like if you had a graph of cognitive decline over time, but mentally doing kind of mentally stimulating activities. One thing is puzzles, like solving puzzles, playing strategy games. Those have been shown to slow down age-related decline. I don't think it's like 100%, but keeping your mind active is really important. The last two I'll mention are meditation. So meditation has been proven as well to improve focus, attention, and memory. So focus, attention, memory. Let's see if I can remember this. So focus, attention, memory are the primary ones, and then secondarily, it also reduces stress and anxiety. Meditation is great. She may give some meditation techniques in this thing, but you could also go on YouTube and find free sources, and there's a lot of free apps as well for meditation. And the last thing I'll note is social interaction. So maintaining strong social connections and engaging in meaningful social activities has a positive impact on brain health as well. So kind of being in isolation, if you looked at the COVID times, there's a lot of people who had a lot of issues kind of being isolated, being by themselves. Same thing with a seasonal affective disorder. People say it's more with the weather when it's cold and things like that, but you're also more socially kind of segregated. So anyways, I would say to wrap up, this may be useful, but I would say that the first statement is entirely inaccurate, but there are a lot of practical tiny steps you can do to use your brain better, to get better results out of your brain. Maybe not say use your brain better, but you can get more out of your brain if you do certain things. So, all right. And if anyone takes this course, let me know if it was useful. That's it.